Hi, this is Bob Weiss. I'm the host of Shakinyourworld. Cheers.
Welcome home, people. Yet another opportunity to be in the Shaker's Kitchen. We are going to do some octopus at the moment. This is octopus, which will be featured on our Basque menu on the rooftop at Shaker's on August 14th, Friday the 14th. Beautiful city, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. So I'm doing traditional Basque-style foodstuffs, and this is the Pulpo Gallego with the paprika potato. Over here, I've just got some potatoes that are boiling away. I got a little bit of thyme in there, and of course, kosher salt as well to get that moving. I'm going to have this pan working as a cover. It's going to expedite the cooking process a little bit. Now, in this pot over here, I've just got some boiling salt water. What could that be for, you ask? Well, we have these lovely baby octopus. And one of the tricks in the restaurant world is we're going to take this with a pair of tongs like this, we're going to dip it in. As soon as you do that, the tentacles all seize up. All the protein seize. Got these lovely little curls taking place. So from here, I'm just going to put this on this plate for a moment. I'm going to grab another one. And launch again. You watch this going in. See how these tentacles curl up? One of the remarkable things about nature. Just to get a better idea, we generally do this 3 times. A little better idea how this works. I'll put this right in front of us, off heat for a moment. And grab one of these guys, grab him by the head, put him in. See how lovely that is? So as you dunk them in, you pull them back up. They have just a moment to, they don't relax actually at that point, but it just further shocks them once the heat comes back on. So these octopi have all been cleaned, which means that the everything that's inside of their head case is gone. Head case is gone. Last one. All right, so we are now done with our hot water. Take a saute pan, olive oil, get ourselves some fresh garlic cloves in here. And I'm going to get the pan seasoned and up to speed. By that I mean heat. So these flavors pop off this. Paprika, kosher salt, combination of thyme and oregano. And I just taken some tomatoes. You can bust these down yourself, or you can get a canned tomato, crushed tomato product. It doesn't matter. We're coming up to that time of year that we almost have fresh tomatoes in Milwaukee. Ron, may I have a wine cork, please? Going to the bar for a wine cork, which is going to go in the same exact water that we used. So basic wine corks. This is an old style of softening octopus. Southern Mediterranean and across cultures quite a bit. Once upon a time, you'd go to Greece and you'd find any number of octopus fishermen that are bringing in the octopus, and they're beating it. They're just whacking this thing. So whether you use a hammer or use something like a rolling pin like this, whatever it is, this is the old-fashioned way to tenderize and marinate them. So in Portugal for many years, and I think probably parts of Italy as well, they use corks in the water. And I can't tell you why. I'm sure there's an enzyme that's there that works. We're going to get this up to speed for just a moment, and once this works, then we're going to get the rest of the octopus in. So what I would mean, though, by beating these things, in this case, this is a rolling pin. Just like using a knife blade, you're careful not to whack your own fingers because that's going to be painful. So it doesn't take a lot of effort, but just this small baseball bat, even like a hammer if you wish, that's as long as it's clean. So remove the blood stains of your ex-husband's head before you use that. So we're doing two methods here. We're doing obviously both the beat method, which has been used for, I'm sure, 1,000 years or more. And then we're using then the Portuguese wine cork method. Now, since this is a Spanish dinner, we're doing really food that's from northern Spain, from Santandere and Sansebastian, Bilbao, a little bit of Barcelona. We want to get some of the flavors of a Spanish wine into here as well. I got two great samples here. We got a Verdeo and we've got an El Coto. So these are things that are indigenous to Spain, and sometimes that they're grown in Argentina as well. And all we're doing is just going to work up this pan a little bit. So like anything else, when you're using any type of tomato for its tomato sauce or anything, you use wine, especially red wine. There's an enzyme that's there as well that really promotes the flavor of the tomato and just makes it so much bigger and so much more. So we've got a real nice temperature going here. We got a great little boil taking place with this. Now we're cooking a few different things. We've got to make sure that our potatoes are not being ignored because we don't want them to be mush. So to me, they feel right. So I'm going to step behind the camera for a moment and drain these off. Don't go too far. So we have our boiled potatoes. A little bit of the moisture is left inside of them. I'm going to continue to cook these. So I'm going to take some garlic here and paprika, a lot of paprika. It is, after all, Spanish paprika. And since we got a little bit of thyme and oregano and salt and pepper there, we're going to toss that in as well. Just going to mix those around like that. Bring our speed down a little bit. And our octopus is ready to go into here. The corks are still there as well. So we have a cork bath taking place with the octopus. The corks obviously will float on the top. You have no problem picking them out. Now we're not looking for a really long exposure here, and the other thing that we could do is we could take an octopus and actually we've got a oven that's heating up. It's about 350 degrees. We can just take this like this, stick them there. So if you don't want to boil your octopus, you can roast it. So again, it's important you tenderize it first. There was even a time that what we used to do when we did these massive gigs, we have a lot of octopus to do, is we would take a washing machine, we make sure it's thoroughly clean on the inside, we sanitize it just with bleach water, do a few cycles of just hot water through it, and then we use that as a means to break up, this again is an old European trick, to break up the octopus fibers, and it just yields great results. So it's a shame that we don't have smell-o-vision going on with this, because these garlic potatoes with the paprika smell sublime. That sauce over there is equally as sublime. So I encourage you to get past just the normal way that you look at food and really to get into it. You don't necessarily need a recipe, and if you do get a recipe, just kind of use that as a general guide. I think it's great to form your own way of cooking. All right, so we've got these octopus here. Take them off the heat. We're going to let them cool for a moment. Let's see how much they have shrunk down. So that's how the protein that sees down. We have a couple options here. So if they're large octopus, which these certainly are not, we could scrape these, get some of the skin off. In this case, I'm just going to leave this on. I've got no problem with eating this whatsoever. If you do have a little bugaboo about that, by all means, put them in a brown paper bag like you would a pepper or a tomato that's in the oven, and shake it, and that'll take care of that. Otherwise, from my perspective, every time I've had them in Spain, They're just like this. They're not peeled. One of the things we like to do at Shakers is have authentic foods done in an authentic capacity. But again, you're the guy or woman who's driving this bus who's making the dish. So now it's finished, it's cooking, it's the same, looks the same, and that's just being in the oven. Again, if you wanted to, you could put that in a bag and scrape off the skin. I just want these to dry for a few minutes first. Pan is hot, use a towel. If you find that you think your sauce is a little bit too thick, you take some of this water that we use as our boiling agent. You don't need much, and you can put that in there, marry that in, and that would thin you out a little bit. But frankly, the octopus, though they've been drained, still have their moisture going on, and the potatoes have moisture as well. So what I'm going to do with this, through with our plate, you see the steam is still rising. I'm going to take these guys, and we're just going to cut them up. Now, whereas a calamari or cuttlefish, we have distinct portions between the head and the tentacles, that doesn't have to be the case with this. So same thing you get down in Brazil, you'll find this as a Brazilian style as well. So it's just a coarse chop. It's not that it's separated or segmented. So now we've got this going on back to full speed. He's going here. If you want to get some green or red peppers in here, you certainly may do that as well. Just nothing that's going to be particularly spicy or hot. If you're doing something traditional, if you're just going to go for something with big flavors, something more Brazilian, then you certainly would get some hot chilies in there. But this is Spanish. So now this is how this is reduced down. Our liquid is reduced quite nicely. Our potatoes are just at that right point. And we're going to go right into this dish. Potatoes and octopus. You'll find this all over northern Spain. Plenty of garlic here as well. And we're just going to let that cook. Going to let these flavors work together. I've seen this done where people use sherry to deglaze the pan. If you want to, that's cool. If you want to use a white wine to deglaze, you can do that. None of the above, that's fine too. Looks like our surfaces are all coated. We're looking pretty good here. If you want to get a little fancier, you could do the potatoes as a surround, or potatoes in the center perhaps, and the squid as a halo around that. Again, it's your dish. You can embrace this and make it what you want. I can guarantee you that your friends and family that you're cooking for will be thrilled that you're doing something outside the norm. So this is the kind of thing that we would do for a party plate, if you would. So this is also going to be done just as a simple little tapas dish where you just got a small portion going out. The thing you find mostly in northern Spain is not going to be tapas, though. It's going to be pinchos. So little dishes that are then poked with like a little sword or a little pick. A little olive oil on top to finish. Voila. Hope you enjoy.